games are there. They first speak out that the Buffalo Sabres achieved 7-5 victory. Now, 7-5 victory. Great to see the Canadians guys getting up on the board there. They still have some of the same problems that we've seen playing their gameplay in this game. In particular, Keeping Primo, wowzers, he was back. Anyway, besides all of the conversation about yesterday's Sabres game, I wanted to talk about a warning to right now, and where his treacherous
nice. No sign, that's good.
If he is not careful. Let's go over on to
And Jacob Truber sign. Nice. Okay, good.
Fanatics.com by Elise Hedgen. Elite Friedman,
$100 million in cap space draw. Getting outside D versus now. Really good.
In this article, it is a clip of Elite Friedman talking about the Canadians on the 32,000 podcast, and there also is this quote right here. Montreal is in a dangerous zone where any recruitment error could have a lasting impact on the team's rebuilding process. Furthermore, we have this piece published on winninghabit.com by Nate Juppett that goes up there and describes even more of Friedman's thoughts. Plenty of Ellie's takes have been sitting well with the House faithful, but on one of his recent episodes, has good the pressure from the fan base, the weather, or the quality of the team. Looking at these factors, it makes sense why Friedman may reach the destination conclusion that Montreal is not there right now. This is essentially what he talks about in the podcast. One, the Montreal Canadiens do not have a favorable state league and have some students of that Canadian laws. Two, it's one that very Montreal's environment, but it could be a pressure cooker when things are going wrong, like right now. Three, Montreal is a beautiful city to play in, but the winters can be rough if you prefer to play in another city. And number four, Montreal's roster is a dumpster fire right now. Both their defense and their offense isn't clicking. Number 6 yesterday.
So I just, okay, I need to figure out my lineups then. So these three for sure, top line. Yummy, Pershev, and Nazar for sure probably play the second line, and Lidstrom in between. I need a right winger for third line.
Everything that the years, but trying to put it right now is difficult. And so for the reasons above, David Friedman spoke about how the Habs are not really a destination right now, and how if these were to make some sort of a panic trade, it could be a very dangerous mistake if things go even the slightest bit wrong. This is a warning, but I actually do think it makes a lot of sense. I would say Canadian fans have it probably in their best interest to fully absorb and think about, because hey, Montreal and Kent Hughes can toss all the assets they want, and a player to add onto the squad, a middle six center, or a top four right-handed defenseman, anybody else that's available on the market. The Montreal Canadiens could probably try to enter those sweepstakes, but the question is that really going to help them out, and by how much? If there is some sort of a trade that is done and the guy acquired isn't all he lives up to be, or he doesn't live up to the contract, or it's even more common sense right now in the racing game. Thoughts to make it stand, you might not like what I'm going to say, but right now you have to look with James Vegas. The one thing you're seeing is that Coach Marty and the players are in a great mood in the morning, because they look so defeated. It's a really tough place to be at, and the Canadians are not going to the trade away. I would have a conversation about, are we really sure that the Canadians are playing and the way they're doing things is helping the players enough? Next year, you can have a high-pick coming, you can have Ivan Demidov coming, and all of a sudden things could start to look a little rosy. It's really hard to rebuild in this league. So for every Friedman to keep this warning for the Canadians, not to essentially make a panic trade, not to go out there and shell some significant assets for a guy that might be overpaid and a little bit older. This is a worthwhile thought process to think about, I would say. The Montreal Canadiens are not supposed to be good this season. They're supposed to be something, but when you consider the lacking performance in general of the team, it becomes a lot easier to absorb that idea that a rebuild is not supposed to take 3 years. It's supposed to take maybe 4 or 5 or 6. We've already really become so talking about that same process, and especially with the goals and the pass down. So you think about the Primo and San Marcos, they've both been pretty bad in general this season, especially Primo. So you can have to think about it like that, but if you wanted to make a trade for an unfair defenseman like unfair, are you still going to be able to? If this goaltending team, if you have a schedule, does it matter who you bring in? If you bring in Sidney Crosby, it'll still be bad. There are a bunch of ideas that I think you could internalize if you're thinking about the Montreal Canadiens and where to go from here. Obviously, Ryan DeWitt is a lot easier to talk about today than it was 2 days ago because they just came off a great secret on victory. But at the same time, play like that, as sloppy as it was yesterday against Buffalo, as terrible, as irritating as it was yesterday against Buffalo, at the end of the day, I guess I'm saying that they're satisfied with the game because they were entertained. It was a very fun, very fun fly kind of game. Lane Hudson was forcing guys on defense, and I really forcing guys. He was going out there making Rasmus Dahlin look like a fool out of all people. Like, what do you think your thoughts in this conceptual way? Firstly, about the Canadians and the same as the Gibson. That's obviously going to be a hot topic. But also, what do you think about this board and trade? Don't just make a trade to make a trade. Actually evaluate the player acquired. Is worth the risk. Is worth the dollar amount. Is actually going to help this team. Shows throughout their account that the businesses that haven't even been so over the next 2 years. The last thing I think the Montreal Canadiens fans would want to see this team do is acquire a guy that would help them win at least 5 or 6 games this season. 5 or 6 games is a lot of games. But if you end up saving an extra 10 to 12 points this year, you miss out on first overall games taken because of it. Let's say that they will fire and focus on quickly because maybe the second half of the 20
Easy. Third line, right winger, right there.
Like, if you just stuck around with just you trying to become a little bit worse, you trying to do some other things, maybe you have some more room to play and projected and things in the long-term future. But for now, I don't feel real very much about this thought process here. We're going to very much video on this technology to completely eliminate any sort of an idea or a narrative that we discussed here at this video. This video is all about talking about how it's dangerous for the Canadians to make a bad trade or to make a trade for an aging asset. That's what we're going to do in the next video. We're going to talk about aging assets and then we're going to help Canadians can go out there and potentially trade for us. So stay around on the channel for that. So we really think that's something regarding the team in the Eastern Conference. But for now, let me know your thoughts on the content for the season. We'll stay back to us for the 9. Plus. That was slow over time now. Like it's going to get it out. Everyone's forgotten you missed that. I don't remind them. Oh, you get 2% of this guy. Okay, look, I know Canadian fans don't think they're going to kill me because I'm making this video, but their opportunities, straight up, to be able to deliver to the Pittsburgh Penguins in a key postings by DKPittsburghSports.com by Taylor Hawks. He went out there and posted this yesterday, an exclusive piece. Amid their inexcusable loss, the word is that the Pittsburgh Penguins could be seen. There do you think today, because yesterday, Steve had it down the Stars, 7-1 loss, but playing with 5-8. They were down 6-0 after the first period. Yeah, that's ridiculous. How many people let in 6 goals in one period? In the first period, nevertheless. By the way, just kind of a side note there, anybody in fantasy this week who has any Dallas Stars players, please let me know how you're feeling with Jason Robertson, Wyatt Johnston. These guys didn't do anything pretty much in the first period, points-wise. Meanwhile, you had Mason Marchand getting a 5-point game. Zero Iceman finally starting to get his groove on. Shane Bennett getting some points, and Tyler Sagan for the legacy right there, too. What are your thoughts on that? Just curious. For all you J. Rock owners in the fantasy world, how do you feel about that? But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this part of the Blackhawks, because there is a really interesting theory as to where the Penguins could be going after this game, after this bad state of play, even after this season. So, let's go out there and read this. There are whole bunch of comments you must do with Marcus Pedersen. There's not much to say when it's 6-0. Just reading, Pedersen said, that's indisputable. Penguins are capable of competing with the Super Capitals, but such showings are rare, as seen in the 6-19 record in defensive metrics. And we've already cleared down for the third consecutive straight out of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So what now? The Penguins won't go full rebuild until Crosby retired. He has earned that, but this cannot continue. And that simply, unlike Peter, runs the top of the team's hockey structure. So look at this out. A league source told us earlier this week that how good this team makes the other teams, that everyone is available except for 87. Fremont Davis has done well to reflect the series of six prospects in the year or so. He is yet to above any year contributors into the power of features. Rather, it would need to acquire actual players back. Since this
with that yes to credit from capital
is a tear it down to the studs rebuild, as Stevens likes to say. Steelman is committed to trying his rookie to East Crosby. Ownership made that promise to Crosby over the summer, but the Penguins will be better this season. Also, everyone but Crosby being available trust with what else is known about the plan to foresee in the future. The article then goes out there and talks about some of the names. There are guys like Marcus Pedersen, for example. There are prospects, younger teams that are also in the mix. And then prospects here at the bottom, of course. Not everyone but Crosby can actually be traded. In addition to Crosby, Gino, Letang, Russ, and Carlson all have complete no-movement clauses. And while one could assume someone like Carlson would be willing to waive that clause to go to a contender, it's hard to imagine that many contenders both have a move in the cap space for someone like Carlson in his $10.5 million cap hit for 3 seasons. 7 more players at various levels have limited no trade clauses, including one of the 3 goaltenders on the roster in Tristan Jarvis. Man, what a bad player to have a boost clause, or a trade clause, or some modified version of that. Anyways, what I wanted to do in this video is talk about some of the guys I've talked. Of course, not James. Listen, these guys have no good contracts. They have these students as to where they can get traded, they can get traded at all. But I wanted to bring up my 2 favorite teams, the Vancouver Canucks and the Montreal Canadiens, for 2 reasons. Firstly, for Montreal, this allows us to open that door to the Crystal Tank trade conversation once again. And for Vancouver, it's all of the buzz around Patrick Baldwin being there, being around his former team and his former players. I wanted to get some discourse going to some of the guys that put their hands that Vancouver looked to take for the league interested in as well. Let's start out with Montreal. So Crystal Tank obviously is the big name here. Everybody's talking about him as an option, not necessarily because he would be a good option, but because there were rumors linking him to Montreal earlier this offseason. Apparently, he requested a trade, and then he said that he didn't, and there was an entire dispute going on there amongst NHL fans and the like. Letang this season has 6 points in 17 games, on pace for about 29 points on the season. Yikes. That is not what Chris Letang is normally capable of. To Letang's credit, he's not overpaid like Derek Carlson is. Okay, so he's a little bit overpaid compared to his 29-point pace production. But he's only making $6.1 million a year for the next 27-28. This is a guy who is 50% something. That's actually pretty reasonable for Chris Letang, especially if you buy into the idea that So if there's anything, I'd say, for Chris Letang to be okay with some sort of a move, if the Montreal does sound pretty enticing, considering they could use the support on defense. Now, as we've spoken about in previous videos, I don't think Letang is really the guy who would make the most sense here. He would make sense as a legacy pick, but if you wanted to go with all the Quebec guys and bring them together for a few seasons of football, it works, but like, is that really helpful for the team? Because in the video 2 hours ago, talking about how making some sort of a trade for every game might be dangerous, according to Elliot Friedman. So, obviously, Chris Letang wasn't frank, and if there weren't these trade rumors linking into Montreal earlier in the summer, we wouldn't be talking about this here today. But I did think it was interesting enough to bring it up, considering his name's been tossed out there. Same thing you could say about Stephen Malcolm. Yeah, this entire situation is also interesting because he's paid a lot of money too. I'm not going to say overpaid. He's definitely in that same realm, considering he's making literally the exact same $6.1 million AAV salary for 25-26. But Stephen Malcolm, at 38 years old, has 18 points in 17 games this season. He's on pace for 87 points. He had 83 just 2 seasons ago. Last year he had 67. So Malkin, who currently leads the Penguins in points, is technically a guy if you wanted to say could work in a trade. Maybe he works. If it maybe is being a second-line center, maybe he knows a guy, who really knows. Let's switch gears over to Vancouver and this video off with a short commentary on them. Because for the Vancouver Canucks, I'd say that a lot of those same ideas could apply here. Not in giving off, and I don't think that they're usually going to be center help here, but right in the future. There is Marcus Pettersson in Pittsburgh. There is Chris Letang in Pittsburgh. Obviously, the idea of acquiring a third Pettersson into the Vancouver Canucks organization is intriguing. I say third because you've got 2 Lewis's already in there. But Marcus Pettersson is a name that was managed to Vancouver, other than these other sort of talks around the city as guys that the Canucks could target. I'm still thinking about it, though. Like, if the Canucks really wanted a guy who could provide an offensive punch on the right side, Letang, I still want to believe in this dude. I don't think that the fallout here, in terms of points, is as drastic as the reduction rates would suggest it is. I think it's just a combination of defense. Now, when playing their best, then power play time and Carlson being given a whole bunch of minutes and him being essentially the guy who's supposed to be in that card. I don't know, man. I think Chris Letang can be a lot better than he's done. Vancouver is the team with the potential to get that spark up. I would like to see that experiment try itself out. Now, if you want to talk about Marcus Pettersson, yeah, of course, he's probably a little bit more stable than Letang, but he would probably cost more, in my opinion at least. His contract isn't as expensive, he is a lot younger, and he actually does have more points than Chris Letang does this season. It's just Letang has the benefit of being the guy that he has been for the past 40 years or so. He has that longevity, and the guy decide this season is really just a team coming only as a whole contributing to this decline for production, or is Letang really just that wrong? And is Marcus Pettersson that much better than him when confident at this stage in their careers? So, for me personally, I'm thinking about Letang, Pettersson for Vancouver. If you're a Canadian fan and want to win over intense and it's how they feel about Letang, he's outdated. Yeah, trade protection is going to come into this as well. Would he be interested in any perspective going to Montreal? You know, I don't know. Chris Letang, who really knows? And for Vancouver, it's a completely other story, but I still do think that NBC they need to be explored at something actually. So, we're going to see that actually the video for these guys. So, you know, in the comments section below, hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.
Oh my god, these two kids are fucking amazing. Oh my god, I didn't see that happening right now, actually. I put him set these out, so.
Some abandoned military sites for using useful batteries. And businesses full of dark secrets against the legends that are still against the time. Dennis says we have another spirits that the feminists that still conflict before social use. Wow. They're talking to the conflicts. They're talking to the a relic from the days when New Zealand feared invasion. As you step closer, and hearing silence envelops you, broken only by the whisper of the ocean below. This old military fort, built in the late 19th century, is said to house the restless spirits of soldiers long past, and under the silent electricity, or by something far darker. Visitors often report a chilling feeling to watch, as shadows slip outside of the sun is falling. Some citizens, from the dust and thunder to the open one tension, and then there are the footsteps, steady, heavy, like a soldier being finished, yet still there. Some say it's the ghost of a lone census broken road whose ghost. Others claim that on stormy nights they hear faint echoes of marching boots and the footstep downs of commands. The air around Fort Metropolitan is thick with an unexplainable heaviness, a lingering sadness that clings to every stone. As you wander through its abandoned hallways, it feels as if time has paused, trapping the fort's ghosts within its cold walls. This place is no ordinary ruin. Fort Takapuna is a haunted monument to a past that refuses to rest. Second Fort Balance, Wellington. Perched on the rugged hills overlooking Wellington Harbor, Fort Balance looms like a sentinel of the past, shrouded in shadows and stories that defy time. Built in the late 1800s, it once served as New Zealand's first line of defense against foreign threats. Today it's abandoned, but something within those decaying walls has refused to leave. Visitors who dare to explore Fort Balance report an unsettling presence. Cold drafts slip through the empty gun pits and whispers echo faintly, as if voices from the past linger in the damp air. Some describe hearing frantic footsteps down narrow corridors, as though soldiers are still scrambling to defend the fort. Others have seen a shadowy figure pacing silently along the walls, vanishing around corners only to reappear just out of reach, watching from the darkness. The air feels thick, almost oppressive, heavy with memories of those who served and perhaps died within these walls. Fort Balance is not simply abandoned. It's a haunted battered as a labyrinth of darkness, a silent gun place, a fortress of history. There is a Fort changes sites and protections here. It's an innovation. But every year, something battered is gathered just for something. It was a few encounters that fade in the bravest of visitors. As you wander through its narrow, echoing tunnels, it feels as though you're not alone.
I need an extra 4 down there. That's what I need, actually. So, yeah, I'm going to get an extra 4 before the season starts. I'm supposed to trade here again.
Voices that murmur just beyond understanding. Others report seeing the figure of a man, dressed in a soldier's uniform, moving slowly through the corridors as if still on patrol. Many believe that the spirits of those who once prepared to defend these floors remain bound. With these secure dispositions, it's going to be the best market for you by watching over stock market.
Whoa, they're paying you 4? Oh my god. They paid really 4 billion for fucking.
CSC, making the investment market work for you. Under the tunnels, lost in the darkness, standing battered as a place frozen in time, haunted by the memories, and perhaps the souls of those who once called it home.
the defenders human force. Now, the long-abandoned bunkers and hidden rooms harbor secrets that few dare to uncover. Those who venture here speak of a thick, unnatural chill that seeps under their bones, accompanied by a heavy silence that fills the mind, listening. Shadows linger in the empty corridors, faint footsteps echo the deserted halls, as if someone is following just up in sight. On dark, stormy nights, locals report seeing the flicker of lights from the porch windows, lights that disappear when anyone tries to get closer. Some say the spirit of the soldiers looking toward Dorset, forever unwatched, unlooking for families close. Others believe the fort is a portal, a place where past and present blur, and where those who once stood guard remain trapped in their endless vigil. 5. North Head Fortifications, Auckland. Atop North Head in Auckland, the fortifications lie hidden beneath layers of rock, grass, and mystery. Constructed in the late 1800s, these tunnels and gun batteries were meant to safeguard New Zealand from unseen threats. But over time, North Head has developed a sinister reputation, with tales of ghostly encounters that induce silence. Visitors describe mirrors unnaturally cold, even on a warm day, as they enter the dark haunting tunnels. There are whispers, soft, distant, and unintelligible, that seem to come from the walls themselves. Flickering lights appear in the pitch black passageway, only to vanish when followed. Some have seen shadowy figures standing silently at the end of long corridors, then disappearing without a trace. Locals believe the spirits of soldiers have visited this place, never having left their posts. Others suspect the fort hides secrets buried beneath the limits tunnels. Whatever haunts North Head, it waits silently in the shadows, a chilling reminder that some battles are never truly over. Martin, Sums Island Fortifications, Wellington. Martin, Sums Island, once a place of isolation, now stands as a haunting reminder of the stripped of its past. Its fortifications, built in the 18th century, were designed to protect the harbor, but today the island is born into the restless spirits that linger in its shadows. The abandoned military structures, overgrown with creeping vines, hold secrets that many wish to forget. As you walk the island's deserted paths, the stillness is almost suffocating. Cold gusts sweep through the dilapidated bunkers, and the faint sound of footsteps lingers echoing from the narrow tunnels that no one has ever seen. Visitors often report a few sense of unease as if unseen eyes are watching from the surrounding trees. At night, strange lights flicker revealing dark hosts, vanishing before anyone can approach. Some say the souls of soldiers who once watched over the island are trapped here, eternally guarding the shores. Others believe the island's dark history, marked by its use as a quarantine station, holds darker spirits, those who never left. Mathieu, Sums Island is a place where history and hauntings collide, a chilling reminder that some islands are never truly empty. 7. Godley Head Coastal Defense Battery, Christchurch. Perched high above the rugged cliffs of Christchurch, the Godley Head Coastal Defense Battery casts an ominous shadow over the sea below. Built during World War II to defend New Zealand from naval attacks, the battery is now abandoned. Yet the ghosts of its past refuse to depart. In front of the concrete structures, once filled with soldiers and pilots, are now haunted by those who never left. Visitors to Godley Head often report an unpleasant sensation, constant feeling of being lost. The wind howls through the elevated places, areas with the faint echo of marching boots and the distant thunder of metals. Some seem to get those by secret enemy barracks, while others hear soft whispers coming from the darkened corners of cave gun pits. The battery's haunted reputation grows with every story of ghostly figures. Soldiers in uniform their faces lost in the fog, standing at attention staring out the city. Instead, they are waiting. They will guard the shore, their duty not fulfilled. Godley Head is a place where the past lingers in the air, heavy got relented as the spirits of forgotten soldiers continued their endless wander. Battery Point, Wellington. At the edge of Wellington's rocky coastline, Battery Point stands as a silent sentinel, its history as a military stronghold long forgotten. Once a key defensive site in the 19th century, the area is now a quiet, almost desolate place, but it's far from empty. Locals whisper of strange occurrences and ghostly encounters that still haunt this forsaken corner of the city. As you walk along its rumbling paths, the air grows unnerving and cold, and the silence is broken only by the distant crash of waves below. Many who visit speak of hearing footsteps behind us, though no one has ever seen. Some claim to have glimpsed battery figures dressed in military uniforms walking along the old battery walls, their faces obscured by time. There are stories of mysterious lights flickering in the night, vanishing the moment anyone approaches. Battery Point is not just a place of historical interest. It is a place where the past refuses to stay buried. The souls of those who once stood watch here seem trapped, forever guarding a shore that no longer needs defending. The eerie silence of Battery Point serves as a reminder that centuries events and spirits never rest. Fourth Bastion, Auckland. Tucked away in the hills of Auckland, Fourth Bastion stands as a silent sentinel, its weathered walls concealing secrets buried deep in the past. Built in the mid-1800s, this military fortification once stood guard over the city, but today, it is known more for the eerie happenings that unfold within its crumbling walls. The air around Fourth Bastion feels unnaturally still, and those who venture near often report a chilling drop of temperature, as if the past refuses to let go. The old stone walls seem to whisper, carrying the restless energy of soldiers who once defended the fort. Visitors speak of hearing footsteps echoing through the empty rooms, footsteps that belong to nobody's soul. At night, the fort takes on a more sinister appearance. Flickering lights are seen through the cracks in the wall, and shadowy figures of centuries years, yet motionless in the dark, watching anyone who dares to step inside. Some claim to hear the presence of these spirits, but they are
There's also happened that programs and things complete their thoughtful foundation benefit. We're still like a content with all that but there's also
with eyes on the forever program. Fourth Bastion remains in place where the past refuses to go. It's funny, like I said, there are spirits waiting to let us right up and tell us full of secrets. There's a chilling presence that draws those who seek to hear the remnants of its dark history. As you approach the weathered walls of the Blackhouse, an unsettling silence surrounds you, thick and suffocating. The air grows heavy, as if burdened by the many years of conflict and sorrow that unfolded here. Inside, the atmosphere is thin with an unfolding nature, as if the walls themselves are holding on to the balance of the past. Visitors have reported feeling a strange pressure on their chests, like an unseen force of watching, waiting. Whispers have been heard in the dead voices that seem to come from nowhere, rumbling stories of soldiers who died in battle, their spirits forever bound to the blockhouse. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures standing at the windows, their forms fading as quickly as they appear. Cameron Blockhouse isn't just a forgotten building. It is a place where the dead sit, death working on the ground of the fire. These haunted fortifications of history are just relics of the past. They are gateways to restless spirits and untold stories. But believing in the supernatural, something is sacred. These places will be.
okay, so yeah, we haven't made a Vancouver Canucks video since the Edmonton-Vancouver post-game on Saturday. It has been a while because I have been out and about. So we are back. There are a few things I needed to go over here before we fully dive into the scope of Vancouver Canucks content and news. I am pre-recording this on the night of Monday, November 11th, so whatever stories come out on the 12th, any call-ups, any sending downs, any updates with Dakota Joshua, or whoever else is in the Canucks lineup, we'll talk about that in a later video before the Canucks playoff begins. Wanted to get a Calgary? Yeah, it's Calgary. But before we dive into all that, I wanted to give a really nice little piece of acknowledgement to a Vancouver Canucks young guy that, for a brief second, was a part of the Vancouver organization earlier this weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to turn your attention to Ty Young, currently, at the time of recording this audio, of the Abbotsford Canucks. Because Young had himself a quick cup of coffee with the Vancouver Canucks in a pretty surprising fashion. This is because earlier on November 10th, GM Patrick announced that Archie Baines, Neil Palmar, and Arthur Sheeloves had been assigned to Abbotsford, and that forward Jonathan Kiramaki and goaltender Ty Young had been recalled from Abbotsford. This was a really surprising news. Not just because the Kiramaki was up, that's good, we expected him to get called up, but because Arthur Sheeloves got sent down, and because the aforementioned Ty Young was indeed called up. This is a very interesting progression for a guy as young who was only up for a game.
Come on, guys, why are we losing?
The Canucks did play a game on that same November 10th, and hey, Arthur Sheeloves looked pretty strong. It was an Abbotsford 4-2 victory over the Bakersfield Condors, and just in case we needed to scoop, yeah, Baines, Oman, and Sheeloves did play for Abbotsford in this game. Sheeloves made 23 saves and 25 shots against, so pretty